We are live, back again. Bitcoin Liberty Live, episode 60.
Hello.
We we've been busy the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
We've been filling in. We haven't had our live stream going like the regular podcast lately, but we're catching back up now.
yeah.
And
Well, I
boy,
was off traipsing around Europe it's like some sort of dandy.
no kidding. So all the updates, you've been traveling a ton. You've got the most news to share. I'm in Chicago right now, so I'm
Yeah,
kind of
apparently in a bomb
man
zone.
man on the street here, but it works.
Yeah. Well, shit, man. I mean, Prague was amazing. Like, it was a really, really great time. I was very fortunate because I got to go and visit Robin Sayer over in Austria. Spent a couple days there, playing golf and goofing around, and yeah, it was cool, man. Like, Robin's a great guy. He was a super gracious host. Good grief, you got to mute that thing, man. You're killing me here.
My background noise.
Yeah. Can you mute? Ah, there we go. Ah, perfect. So now I can just natter on endlessly. You have no more voice, Fritz. No, but I mean, Robin was great. He was super, super cool. We got to hang around. He fed me an actual legit Austrian schnitzel, so that was pretty awesome. I got to try. I tried learning some German before I went there. That didn't work out so well. Ich verstehe kein Deutsch. That's all I got. Like Sprache
Gesundheit.
English. Yeah, exactly. And then we took the train to Prague together, which was awesome because we had like 4 hours, and Robin just absolutely destroyed me in chess, like repeatedly, like just owned me, like I was just like a little bitch. Just I was a little chess bitch. I was just getting bitch slapped all around.
The
Um,
national European sport.
yeah, yeah. But when we got to Prague, BTC Prague, the people run that conference just like it's next level. They have everything ironed out. It's really really smooth process. There's some great vendors there. Got to hang out with the folks at the Bitcoin Way a little bit. And they're obviously a great team. And like we got to spend some time with them in Vegas. Like Michael Jordan in particular was kind of not so busy in Vegas, but a lot more busy in Prague. But I just got to walk around, enjoy Prague, enjoy the city. I mean, it was great. I got to see a lot of really cool people. I was fortunate I had the VIP pass, so I got to see a lot of the little celebrities up there. I got to meet BTC Sessions in person. He actually taught us how to dance. He taught us how to do some little like movement thing. It was kind of cool, man. Like it was the
Yeah.
last day, and we're upstairs, and there's probably 10 people up there. It's kind of a little intimate gathering or whatever. But he's like, "Okay, I'm going to teach you." So he like broke it down step by step. He's super super sweet guy, really really genuine in person. So it was just great to kind of see that and have that experience. And yeah, just I mean,
Awesome.
phenomenal all around. It was really really good.
I wish I could have been there. Really, I couldn't swing it, but I mean, my work busyness, my daughter's birthday, all that. But I'm cathartically enjoying secondhand what you can describe about it. So,
Yeah,
um,
the funny thing is, I didn't take any goddamn pictures. Like, I'm just like, there's something about me that I just don't like. I feel like the only picture I took that was meaningful, like, Robin was walking me around Vienna, which was amazing. Like, it's such a beautiful city, dude. Like, if you ever have a chance to go to Vienna, Austria, highly recommend it. But yeah, just walking around there was super, super, super amazing. And I took some pictures of like the Parliament building. Like Zelensky was there of all people. Like we were walking around, and, like there's drones flying overhead, there's cops everywhere, and Robin was like, "It isn't usually like this." I'm like, "I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's for me, I don't know." But Robin found out later, like Zelensky was making some speech or something. I don't know. So,
interesting.
yeah, it was kind of weird. Like me and Zelensky were chilling in the same city at the same time, kind of,
Yeah,
chilling with the world leaders. But I forgot where I was going with all this. Something.
beautiful
Oh,
city.
pictures. I didn't take any pictures. So
Yeah.
the one picture I took where it was just like a very touristy thing was like I was in Queens, New York, and I stopped at New Park Pizza. I took a picture of my pizza, and that was like it. So it's like all this amazing European architecture and all these like famous Bitcoin people and just some great vibes and all this stuff. And I'm like, look at my pizza. So that's as touristy as I got, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I could only watch you know, the streams recorded online later, and just the speeches, and um, I got to tell you, I know, like, so for example, Jack Mallers. I really like what Jack Mallers says on his podcast and the speech he made,
Yeah.
and what they're doing in Strike. I use Strike, and even as I know this stuff, just hearing it again and again, or get it's sort of like reminding me of the base that we have, being based, and the core purpose and just the energy behind that.
Yeah,
Reframing me, like I'll get caught up in some of the news or distractions or concerns and disagreements going on about the little stuff. And then when you back it off, like you don't hear Saylor or Mahlers or some of the big figures uh, struggling over these issues. They're just like,
yeah,
that's going on in the background, but it's not what we're talking about. It's not what Bitcoin is, where it's going.
right,
Um,
right.
TikTok next block. Join the mission. Stay on target. Keep going. It's growing. It's going crazy.
Yeah,
I'm just bullish as all hell. I mean, I don't know how to describe it. I just feel like weirdly bullish. I know that the price is just hovering above 100,000. Everybody's like, when is what we think going to happen going to happen? They're going to print more money. People are moving in. Big hands are moving in. And then it's like, okay, and the whales sell. A lot of trades happen off exchange. Um, and yet, okay, let the price simmer here at 100,000. If you can believe where it's moved in the past year, it's incredible anyway.
yeah,
I just feel it's like we're already good.
right.
And yes, at some point we're going to see that next level development in price or ownership. Um, I'm not worried about the little stuff. I feel so incredibly bullish. How do I describe that?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat, like there's, and the thing is, like Tony from the Bitcoin Way had like a really, really great speech. Like he got the crowd up on their feet. Like it was kind of weird because like I remember Isabella, like
Yeah,
Bitcoin, she's very perky. She did a great job hosting. She was outstanding up there on the stage, but she come out just full of energy, like, "Hey everybody, how's it going?" And everyone's just like, eh. I was like, "Come on, man, what's up?" And she was kind of doing like working her ass off up there. But when Tony took the stage, man, he got people up on their feet. Like he was really impassioned. He just spoke from the heart. Michael Jordan gave a really great presentation on the main stage. I was really proud of his speech. As you know, we were having that little debate in Las Vegas, but when he got off the stage,
sure.
like, so how much of that did you disagree with? I'm like, none of it, dude. Like it was all great. Like I agree with you
Yeah,
100%. I dicker a little bit on like where I think this goes and how it gets there, but all the stuff he was talking about was spot on. But like what Tony was talking about, I think is really important. He says you got to take self custody. You got to own your Bitcoin. You don't get
yep,
wrapped up in all these like treasury companies and like those are vehicles for those people to stack sats, right? And like if you're helping them stack sats, and you're missing a major opportunity, I think
yep,
you might make fiat gains. And the thing is, if you convert your fiat gains to get more Bitcoin for yourself, then great, awesome. I'm happy for you. I just think like right now, the scarcity of the asset is something that should be pressing on everyone's mind, right? And holding Bitcoin in self custody in cold storage, I think is going to be is it's going to change things for the people that do that.
yep,
But ultimately, my ultimate thesis is that everything's going to get better regardless of who is holding Bitcoin, and that puts me at some odds with like the monetary people that are like, oh, we got to use it for trade and blah, 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 blah. I go, well, I think that kind of ignores like 12,000 years of human history, right? And just like how things have played out for the last 12,000 years. And I think the shift in that global economic order is not going to be like this tidal wave of like, we used to all do everything this way and now we do it this way, right? I don't think it's binary like that. I don't think there's going to be like, well, everything has to collapse and crash and burn, and then only the Bitcoin people are on the arc of savior, and we rebuild the society in the new image of Bitcoin or something like that. I just don't think that's how societies work. I don't think that's how power works. I don't think that's how money works. I don't think that's how economics works. I don't think any of that is true. Something like that is so catastrophically bad for everybody involved. Like I don't think the people that are wishing for it or think it's coming, I go, you're wishing for the wrong thing. And And so my thesis, I think, is far more hopeful, and I might be wrong. Like maybe everything's got to collapse, and maybe the world's got to burn, and we got to be on the ark of Bitcoin, and we're the only ones that get to survive the flood. I just don't think that's the way it plays out, right? I don't think that's. I think that would be a very uncommon, unlikely outcome for what happens in the global political economy. I think it's far more likely that what happens is Bitcoin gradually changes things throughout the economy and
Yeah,
improves things for everybody that are downstream from it, right?
yeah. The great
But
realignment.
yeah,
Um,
I mean, I wrote a book about it, right? So
it's exactly that. And even as things may get really wonky and bad and in apparent ways in the fiat world, the shift is happening. And
yeah,
like the point you were making, when we refer to Tony and Michael, we're talking about the Bitcoin way. The
hmm
Bitcoin way being one of the greatest consultant companies in the Bitcoin space, regardless of where you're coming from or what your
yeah,
needs are, they can solve your maybe where you're at, what you need, your problems to the solution, which is ultimately self custody, security, and doing that right. And and they're all over MicroSeed. The if you want to ultimately get off custody and you're going to have keys and a seed phrase, you want to save and store that. How do you do that in the best way? Well, there's a lot of options out there.
Johnny,
MicroSeed.
yeah, microseed, 100%. Morning, Johnny. Haven't seen you for a couple weeks.
Yeah. Thanks, Johnny. I
We've
know.
been we've been bums.
Well,
Fritz
yeah,
was making a great pitch for microseed, and I blew it up just to say hi.
it's worth it. Our loyal participant viewer, we love having you.
Yeah.
Um, and we're gonna, as we keep this podcast up, just sometimes, man, life gets in the way and travel and everything else, but we're still here.
Well, I was
Um,
off traipsing around Europe like some sort of dandy, so it was kind of it was a little different. I'm over playing golf and goofing around and talking to Bitcoiners and just having a blast. And Fritz is back here grinding and trying to get stuff done. And
I I've been dealing with various stuff, the fiat job, of course, and then other personal stuff, travel. I'm in Chicago right now, so I've got this idea in my head. I've got a micro seed in my backpack, and on Monday I'm gonna walk down the block here. Actually, Strike's headquarters is across the Chicago River from me here, and I'm just gonna walk over there and drop one off and say, "Hey, Jack may be busy, but if he's here, I'll talk to him. If not, I have a gift for him." So,
yeah,
hey,
they'll probably call security on you and tackle you and try to figure out why you're bringing a bomb into the strike building. But
I'm a Bitcoiner. I'm a Bitcoiner.
honest, I'm orange pilled.
Yeah.
Jack's great. I saw Jack walking around Prague, and he looked really grouchy. I mean, he was just very like, like moving fast, but he didn't have a retinue around him. I was kind of surprised. Like I expected, like sailors, bodyguards,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
but not Maulers. He was just kind of cruising through the crowd, but he did not look like he wanted to have a conversation with anybody. So he was just sort of, I think he was focused on his speech and whatnot.
Yeah. If he hadn't given his speech yet, he was probably nervous. I could tell. I mean, when people give speeches, they don't look as nervous as they feel. I could tell that, man, you're standing in front of a crowd like that. You're nervous.
Oh yeah.
He was probably laser focused on like speech.
Well, it was his second speech. I don't know why he'd be tripping out. Thank you, Johnny. That's awesome, man. Like, I hope we can maintain some quality content here. Let's
Hey,
see how it develops over the next year.
yeah. I mean, if it's good in any way, I mean, we're just going to keep doing it. I mean, what do we care? We're talking into the void sometimes, but it's good for us. It's good for the world.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, sooner or later, people will figure out just what amazing geniuses we are and
yeah, right.
naturally gravitate towards the orbit of the Bitcoin Liberty Live. But that's not so live anymore. I mean, it's live, but it's not at the Liberty Bar. Anyway,
Yeah,
but
we
yeah, Mahler's
remember
was
what.
cruising around. I didn't see either one of Mahler's speeches. I didn't see Saylor's speech. I kind of skipped them, and like I went down to look at the Saylor speech, and it was like the whole place was packed already, like 2 hours before he got there. So I was like, oh, whatever. And I kind of went away, and there was someone I met at the conference, really really cool couple from England. They're actually helping wrangle the talent. It was Jason and Claire. They were wonderful, wonderful people. I've never had such a great time conversation with people. It was like hanging out with Robin and Jason and Claire, and they were just these really great, genuine people. I mean, it was just like a magical time. Um,
Awesome.
they they're like, how come you didn't go watch Sailor? I'm like, well, Bitcoin good, fiat bad. Like, I've kind of seen it before. Like, I know what Sailor's going to say. And after the fact, I saw a bunch of Twitter posts going like, this is so irresponsible with Sailor, and Bitcoin hasn't won yet. Blah, 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 But I've come to the conclusion like Bitcoiners can just get pissed about anything. Like, it just doesn't matter what
We
you say.
do. We
Like,
do.
get all bent out of shape and get their panties in a ruffle about it. Just say anything, and someone's going to come on and go, how can you say that about blah? And it's like, whatever, dude. Just like, you know.
In my mind, at the end of the day, all the scuttle about the details. At the end of the day, gentlemen can politely disagree, and we're still Bitcoiners. We're still all on the same team. Ultimately, that base is there, and I trust in that. And so, one topic I don't know if you want to talk about it, but I remember in Vegas we talked with Michael about some of the fourth turning stuff, where he sees it as the fourth turning is coming, and like the bad stuff is about to hit. Like we're entering the bad time. Your point, if I paraphrase it correctly, is that it's already turned. We're already on the upswing now. What we've been seeing has been the bad. We've been through what's the bad, and we're making the turn into actually the great realignment, which is better and better and better. And that's what Bitcoin is basically the ultimate supernova driving all this,
Yeah,
absorbing everything.
potentially. I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, even talking with Michael again, right? Like, because I went down to the Bitcoin Way booth and we just sat there and I was like, we ended up talking like another hour and a half and it was the same conversation all over again. I'm like, yeah, 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 but this, but that. And the thing is like, people go, well, I mean, things got to get really bad. I'm like, how much worse do you need it to be? Like, we were a butt hair away from World War III, and we just came out of a thing where this man-made thing happened where they had to shut down the entire global economy for a few months. You go, that's pretty draconian. That's a pretty extreme outcome, right?
Yep.
That is something where you kind of go, man, like I it's hard for me to imagine things where they got much worse than that. Like, much worse than that means like we are under total totalitarian control and World War III breaks out. Like, those are the other things. That's the next step that could have been worse. And I go, well, we dodged those bullets, so
Yep.
good. That's a good thing, right? So you go, well, what's the next worst thing that's going to happen? I go, how do you get worse than that? The next worst thing is World War III. Like, so if you're rooting for that to happen first before Bitcoin fixes everything, I go, man, you're rooting for some pretty horrible outcomes, right? And if you go, well, I need to be prepared for it, I go, how do you prepare for World War III? You don't, dude. Like, if people start sending nukes around and stuff like that, like, things are going to get bad for everybody. It's not going to be like, oh, well, thank God I have my Bitcoin and my guns and ammo stacked up in my suburban house in Chicago. Like, that's not going to be the thing that fixes things for you. You're going to be subject to the same problems everybody else is, 100%. So that we dodged those bullets, or at least seem to have dodged those bullets so far, I think is a pretty good sign, pretty good thing. And if we keep going this way, like, every day there's more and more news about more and more companies adding Bitcoin to their treasuries, and there's more and more people adopting Bitcoin. There's more and more legislators talking about it, and the president is coming out talking about it. And I go, how much more bullish do you need to be? Like, yeah, you can sit there and look at the world, but everything's about to die. But you're kind of chicken littling at that point. You go like, dude, I know we're coming out of a really, really, really um, a period of tremendous upheaval globally. The entire world was affected by that thing that happened in 2020. The entire global economy was shut down. There were people being forcefully herded into their houses. People were being forced to take injections. People, like, the most draconian outcome you can imagine happened already, and we're on the other side of it. So you go, what more do you need to say? Like, that's the end of the turn. And as Lynn Alden keeps saying, she just put out this great video that like Hispanic guy that's like laughing with the big no teeth and really, really funny laugh.
I
Uh,
saw that.
yeah, Bitcoin is the first turning, man. It's the thing that's coming around. It's it's I think we're in the upswing right now. I really do, and I think people just reflexively can't say like, oh yeah, things are about to get better like right now. And I just posted on
Yeah.
Twitter the other day. I go, everyone thinks, well, things got to get bad first. And I go, they just got bad. Like, things are going to get better from now. They don't have to get worse first. Like, they can just get better. And I don't think there's anything in the way from. I don't think there's anything stopping that right now.
Yep.
Like it seems like we're on a trajectory that I think is unstoppable. I think nothing stops this train. I think the fiat people are going to keep doing what fiat people always do because they have to, because they have no choice. And I think Bitcoin absorbs that. And I think Bitcoin changes that. And I think Bitcoin helps everybody weather that. I think Bitcoin makes all these companies stay solvent through that. I think all those collapse scenarios go out the window because of Bitcoin, right? So
Yep.
call me
And then
Pollyanna if you want. I don't care.
I'm Pollyanna myself, and um, and it just floors me. Like the Uber that I took from the airport to the hotel here down in Chicago. Great Uber driver, really friendly, retired mechanical engineer. He worked here in Chicago as a mechanical engineer in the auto industry for like 30 years.
Right.
And he retired and just wanted to do something for a little side fun money and keep busy. And he Ubers and he
Yeah.
loves it.
Yeah.
And he's telling me how, man, with the tariffs and the stocks, I've always voted Democrat, but I want the economy good, and I just don't know what to make of it all. And I was really worried about the volatility in the stocks, so I cashed a lot of that out, and I'm just kind of sitting on it. And I could tell that he was like trying to figure out, what do I do? What's the safe haven? I'm retired, but I want hard money.
Yeah.
And
Everybody
I
does.
I had so it's kind of funny. I had a MicroSeed in my backpack, and I said, "You're a mechanical engineer. Hey, check this out." I pull it out. I'm showing it to him. I'm telling him I'm all into Bitcoin. I said, "Bitcoin is the hardest asset for me. My choice is if you're sitting on cash, you're just sitting on a big melting ice cube, and maybe you have enough, but as we have monetary debasement." And everything just gets more expensive, and you're maybe you've got it invested, like he said, in a 6% growth safe haven fund. I'm like, 6% may not be all that helpful in year by year. It's kind of like, oh, you gain a little, and as you slip behind in the
Right.
inflation and
That's
everything else.
that's literally one step forward, two steps back, dude.
Exactly. And so I'm telling them, you want hard assets. And wealthy people find legacy, like in the past, have found things like, it can be gold, it can be real estate. It's like assets that they leverage and all that stuff.
Right.
Or you can just do Bitcoin and do nothing and sit on it. I said, that's what I do.
Yeah.
And he had like never really heard of it or thought of it. And
Right.
I'm just like, we are so freaking weirdly early. Here's a really smart guy who's in a position of needing Bitcoin, and he doesn't have a sense of what to do about that. Or like, is that really a thing? I don't know what to tell people. Like, I'm if I were to be man on the street here in Chicago and just go start interviewing people and say, "Hey, where are you at with the economy and your savings, and have you heard of Bitcoin?" I'm just going to tell you, I think 95, 99% of the people are going to be like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
Isabella just did the same thing. She went and did man on the street in Miami, man on the street in Vegas. What do you know about Bitcoin? Nothing. I
yeah,
mean, it's zero awareness of this asset, right? And that's why I also sort of adhere to my thesis. I go, because people go, the more people that get in Bitcoin, we're going to change the world, and yada, yada, yada. And I go, well, nobody knows about Bitcoin, right? Like, we in our little bubble know a lot about Bitcoin. Nobody else knows anything about the bubble. We are we are ahead of the largest financial players in the world who are just now getting into Bitcoin, right? And that's only in the last year, right? So for the last year, even the most powerful financial players in the world, the people that control all the assets in the world, weren't on board with Bitcoin. Now they are. And
yeah,
so their mission now is to capture as much of this stuff as they possibly can in the shortest amount of time they can, right? But we're already there. We front ran them by a decade. So cool. But all the other people that are going to be coming into it, it's just like the internet adoption, dude. Like, there were people right in the beginning that got it right away, and they capitalized massively off that. The people that came after benefited tremendously from the internet being there, but they didn't get all the benefits of being early, right? They were the people that just, well, I don't need the internet. What do I care? Have you ever heard of a fax machine? So what? Oh, big deal. I can send an email. Who cares? Blah, blah, blah. They didn't get it. It doesn't mean the world benefited tremendously. Everybody in the world benefited tremendously from the widespread adoption of the internet, but it's not, they didn't get that exponential benefit from it. They just got a trivial benefit from it, or not a trivial, a huge benefit. It changed the entire global economy. So I go, what makes anybody think that Bitcoin's going to be any different than that? Good grief! Are you at a ski area? What's going on back
I
there?
know the traffic. So I tried to. I'm in a park, and I tried to find kind of a quiet place to find a bench and sit down where it was quiet because it's louder down the street.
Hey,
But
it's
everyone,
Travis.
Travis is here. I know. So yeah, here in Chicago, traffic is just getting weirdly busier. There's a fire truck that drove by, and it's just like, oh my god. Anyway, this is quiet part of Chicago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a beautiful city, though. I was walking around. I mean,
Downtown is beautiful.
okay, I haven't gone down to the south side apparently, but
Yeah, go take
right,
an Uber down to the south side. See if you can even get an Uber driver to take you there, and
right,
then tell me how beautiful Chicago is. Yeah, Johnny, I saw that chart too, man. 10% of its value in the first 6 months. Yeah, I mean there's Lynn Alden has been, saying this thing for years. Like nothing stops this train. There's no like, oh, we got another way to wiggle out of it, or Doge is going to save us, or like it's just not going to happen, right? The only thing you can reliably bank on is that the train is going to come marshaling through. They're going to print. They have to print, and when they print, you better have some good assets. The thing that's different now is that all these major economic players are going to be holding that asset, so they're not going to get wiped out. What would have happened without Bitcoin is all those major players, all the real estate companies and the REITs and the financial players and all the corporations in America would have been bankrupted by this next flood of liquidity that's coming through. Like their stock valuations would have gone through the moon, but then they'd have to pass all that shit on to their customers. Now they don't have to do that because they have an asset that's going to appreciate as fast as the debasement, if not faster. It's going to appreciate significantly faster than debasement. So everybody gets to keep up, and Joe corporate doesn't have to like make it so the customers can't buy their stuff anymore. They get to stay solvent, and they get to help everybody else stay solvent as well. And I don't know why this is a controversial thesis. I don't know why people are like so adamantly opposed to the idea, but I go, this is a big deal. It changes things on a fundamental level, and it reorients everything. It makes it so we don't have to drive the bus into the ditch first, right? The train can keep rolling. Nothing's going to stop the train, and Bitcoin is the thing that's going to pad the landing. That's my one,
yep,
two, three punch for the first turning.
yep. Nothing stopped this train. It's inevitable, and like you said, with the great realignment, I think what Bitcoiners can run into as far as feeling weird about like we have this truth in our hands and how does nobody get it? You want an orange pill. You want more people to get it and you're trying and it's just low traction.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because with the great realignment, people will experience it and participate at some second, third, fourth tier of all that. So for you and me and folks who are in at the base layer, in on the ground floor, taking a capture opportunity where you can seriously still get Bitcoin in the low 100,000 range. In the future, it'll be like, my God, how serendipitous and lucky of you. But keeping humble, stacking sats, we're doing just fine, and it's going to be amazing.
yeah, and that's the beauty of it is like for the last 12,000 years, and Travis, I think you'll appreciate this. Like when I hear people talk about like ANCAP, right? They go, "I want to be an anarcho-capitalist." I go, "Okay, cool." Who I never hear talking about being an anarcho-capitalist? Someone that lives in Somalia or someone that lives in some other failed state. Like, and those are the prime conditions to create an anarcho-capitalist society, right? You go, well, there's no fucking rules. There's nobody enforcing rules. Let's just set up this thing where everybody trades freely and we treat each other with dignity and blah blah blah. And the idea behind that is this sort of fundamental idea that you can create a system that's based on voluntary, unspoken, unwritten rules that's going to be superior to a system that has written rules. And you go, well, what enforcement mechanisms do you have for that? And why would you need rules at all? And why would we need to trade freely, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? And I go, all the people that talk about anarcho-capitalism are people that live in stable economies, right? And they go, well, I just don't like the way this stable economy works because they steal from me. Well, what do you think that world looks like without those rules? Like, you're able to talk about that because of a structure that has been created and is enforced by force and is enforced by rules and is enforced by, like hundreds of years of momentum, right? So, when we talk about like these great collapses and we're going to rebuild the economy, I go, you're just ignoring 12,000 years of human history, because there's all kinds of societies that collapse, and it doesn't magically transform into communism. It doesn't magically transform into, anarcho-capitalism. It magically transforms into thugs that dominate and control resources. And those thugs, if they stay in power long enough, become governments. If they don't stay in power long enough, a new group of thugs comes in and they fight it out until some group of thugs figures out how to manage things. And right now, we have a very relatively stable version of that that's been running for a few hundred years now, where these groups, right? You're exactly right,
Travis,
Travis. Those
Travis is right.
Yeah, those Somalia's rules are determined and enforced by militia gangs, and that's exactly what develops in the absence of stable structures. Right? If you collapse all structures, the first thing that happens is people have to gang up. Like, there's no other way to exist in that scenario. So when you gang up, those gangs are going to fight over who gets to control what 100% of the time. That because I can point to 12,000 years of human history that goes, yeah, that's exactly what happens over and over and over and over and over and over and over. If you have some people controlling resources and some people that want access to those resources, there's going to be fighting over who gets to do that, who gets to determine who gets what, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's
I'd love to see Michael. Yeah, yeah,
Kings,
exactly.
bring back the Kings. I love it.
Well, so
Oh, that's awesome.
now just fair warning, my batteries might die on us here, so we only have a few minutes. I have to wrap it up probably, but
All right.
I one couple of things. I'd love to hear Michael Malice's take on all this stuff. I like listening to him. Granted, I sometimes try to get my mind around how a larger size anarchist society system could theoretically work if we have organized, structures that people agree to and negotiate in a free market. Michael Malice has a lot to say about that I've been learning about. Matthew Cratter recently has had some interesting videos about the nature of um, power and governance, oligarchies, and intelligently he mentions the various types of controls. You got your monarchies, your oligarchies, your democracies, and then there's anarchism, and how those look and how they play out ultimately. And he touches on anarchy, and he intelligently says, I don't know enough or haven't done the research to really understand how that could work. So he just didn't go there, at least in the one I saw. That's where Michael Malice's kind of ideas come in. When
Yeah.
you're managing a large nation, many states, and all that, um, it's a big cookie to crumble there. So I don't know how that works, but anyway, good videos Matthew Cratter's had.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, if you got the battery, like my very consistent point throughout the book and everything else is the the problem that most people have is like they put faith in an ism and they go, okay, well, this ism is going to fix the thing. But I go, if you're subject to an ism, the ism is a means of controlling resources. It's not a means for the resources to exist fairly in the world, right? So whether you're into liberalism or communism or anarchism or whichever ism you do, that is a means to control resources. That is a structure and a framework for the people pushing the idea to control resources, which is one of the reasons why anarchism doesn't take off. Because the whole premise of anarchism is that nobody gets to control the resources, or it's individual control, and you go, that's just never going to happen. The name of the
Yeah,
game is competitive resource capture. Whoever captures and controls the most resources wins the game. And so there are no rules to this game. The only rules that you have is if you can do it or not, right? If you can pull it off, you get to play. If you can't pull it off, you don't get to play. That's it. And if you're not playing, you're a resource. So if you are relying on an ism to make it feel like you're not a resource, that's the illusion that they're presenting to you. But the people that are pushing the isms are the ones that control the resources. So once people understand the game they're playing, and once I think 99% of people, once they wake up, I don't think they'll ever wake up, but when most people, especially Bitcoiners, can come to the subtle realization, like, you're not a player in this game. You have no say in how this game gets played out. You are a resource. You are 100% a resource. And the way people motivate you as a resource to be more productive is beneficial to the people that are actually playing the game. People like Michael Saylor is now playing the game. People like Jeff Bezos are playing the game. People like Bill
Yep.
Gates are playing the game. People like us are not playing the game. But difference now because we have Bitcoin, and Bitcoin makes us players. It's just the
Yeah.
rest of the world hasn't figured that out yet, and that's
Yep.
why it's a huge deal, because we become players. We become actual players on the board, not just resources to be collected on the board.
Yep. I saw your tweet on that, and it's a really interesting philosophical. It opens up a huge discussion about ideas on the nature of how we interact in the universe, and being a player, being an observer, or just purely an NPC, like a resource. Anyway, there's a lot to talk about there.
Yeah.
I,
Are you
I
about
want to.
to die on your battery?
I got 3% left, and what I worry about is this is going to think it's just going to have to shut down on itself, and it could be any second. So I want to
All right.
talk a lot about more of this, but we'll catch
Next
it
week.
next time. Yeah.
Next week. Johnny, thank you. I appreciate that. I love that you're here to participate in that. Travis, I'm going to go check out Andor. Fritz, you need to go sign up and get ready for your speech at the Bitcoin Veterans thing.
Oh yeah.
Anybody lives in the Pacific Northwest, MicroSeed is going to be we're a sponsor of Bitcoin is for Everyone in Portland. Portland used to be this really beautiful city, pretty amazing, like the jewel of the Pacific Northwest. It's now kind of like the public toilet of the Pacific Northwest. But you should go visit anyway, because MicroSeed will be there. There's some great speakers: Roger Wang, Terrence Michael, a lot of really cool people are going to be there. Me and Travis will be there. Fritz
Yeah. I'm going to try
will be
to.
off fluttering around doing fiat
I'm,
stuff. I don't
well,
know.
I'm going to see what I can swing. I don't know if I can make it, but if I can, I will. I'm pushing to make something work there, but I'm not sure.
Awesome.
But yeah, I want to be there. Portland is like that failed liberal experiment of just spend money that we don't have, and
And get rid of rules.
yeah, get rid of the rules. So um,
Yeah,
lots
and
to talk
abandon
about.
the monopoly on
But
force.
the conference, it's small and it's awesome.
Yeah,
Great access.
it's gonna be great.
Yeah. So okay.
Well, anyway, quick show today. Fritz, don't run out of juice in the middle of Chi Town in the
Yep.
middle of Iraq.
Yep.
Hey, nice. Portland.
Johnny, thank you. You're awesome. I appreciate every time you visit and chat. And Travis, you're
You're the
how
man.
do we describe Travis? He's
Travis is the man.
the ultimate orange pillar. He orange pilled me in various ways early, and I'm very grateful to Travis for keeping me on the right path when I was starting to dabble and sway and just learn. And he was like, "Keep yourself based, son."
Yeah. Travis is definitely not a Fed.
Travis is not a Fed.
Travis, he's got a shirt that even says so.
Yeah, not a Fed.
Yeah. All right,
Johnny,
everybody.
you've been everywhere. Chicago, Portland. Love
Yeah.
you, man. All right,
All right,
thanks,
everybody.
guys.
Take it easy.
Bye.
See you later. I'm gonna go eat some food.
I got a fire truck coming.
Yeah, perfect time.
Okay.
All right,
All
bye,
right.
everybody.
Bye.